Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Hello, Matthew. Thank you so much for joining us today. I don't know if you've been here before. Hello, Brandon. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good. I'm just going to make sure that my volume is off on YouTube. So it is. Yeah. Okay. All right. Oh, wait a minute. Am I getting double feedback here?
No, it was me.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay. All right. Okay, I thought it was me. So, how's everybody today? I don't know if anybody else is here. Maybe it's going to be a quiet broadcast today. Hard to say, but we'll go with what we got. So that's all right. And how you been? You have been having a week, haven't you?
Oh, a total week. Oh my gosh. It has been something. So I don't know if all y'all listening know what's been happening in Texas, but it is quite a mess down here. I mean, I grew up in a similar environment, I think, to Kathy being in Canada. I grew up and was born in Buffalo in New York and then lived in Cleveland in Ohio. So we've been used to snow there. I've been used to snow my entire life, but I moved down south to get away from the snow many years ago. Okay, not many, but like 8 years ago. And man, we got a winter storm here and everything is just shut down. We haven't had heat or water in like 5-6 days, and it is a challenge. But as I was telling Kathy, I've been prepared. You know, I kept getting all these psychic impressions, and Spirit was like, you need to go stock up on water. You need to have some storable foods. And this was a year ago.
Yeah, and we've been talking about it back then too. Because remember, even in the podcast, I was like, Brandon, you got to go get food. Brandon, you got to. Like, I know. I've been getting the same impression. Like, I got to go do this. I got to get stocked up. And I'm like, I know. Like, we're right on the same wavelength on this, right? So
we were literally both talking about this a year ago.
Yeah.
So luckily, it's all come in handy because everything is like wiped out in the stores and grocery stores, and food is pretty much obsolete, and there's no water like anywhere unless you go to like certain little places. They're handing out some water, but we have a boil water notice even. It is crazy down here, and I've been hunkered in, keeping warm, doing the best I can. Honestly, I've been able to help other people, which is really nice. You know, that's the nice part of being prepared. You get to kind of look out for others too, if you can, once you take care of yourself. So it's just been a beautiful, interesting learning experience, honestly. And I say beautiful because even despite chaos and emergency, still one of my favorite things, and if anybody knows me, they know this, you know, I love when people come together. And that is something, you know, that we are seeing as far as neighbor helping neighbor.
Right.
So that's really been inspiring to witness and see. So really just hanging in there, crossing my fingers. Everybody send me good energy so I can have a hot shower at some point. That would be so wonderful.
Hi, Will. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Blue. I just wanted to say hi to everybody. Thanks so much for joining today. Hello. My nose is itchy, so I'm sorry if I look like I don't know why. Maybe cat hair, dog hair, or some sort of animal has attached itself to me somehow. But you know what was funny is we were just before all of this happened. Remember, you were looking for a house and you were debating between the house and the apartment. I said, you know, if you get an apartment, though, if there is, you know, an emergency, there's usually people around, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then a week later, boom. And I was like, oh, I thought it was kind of funny, right?
Oh, so, literally. I mean, totally lucked out. And I followed my intuition with this place. You know, it felt right. Something about it was right. And, you know, we didn't lose power. Luckily, we're one of the very few who didn't actually lose electric. But we we got this gas fireplace in our apartment. And that has come in such handy. Oh my gosh. If we didn't have that, we would have been frozen completely.
Oh yeah. I can't even imagine. Like, I know that there's, you know, they posted about like the clay pot heaters and, you know, different things like that. But, you know, like even still to have at least the gas fireplace, that definitely helps out right there. Right.
Oh, so much. So grateful. Honestly, it's just this entire thing is just every single day I'm just reminding myself how grateful I am of what we have and, you know, being safe and all that. And that's one of the best ways to be, is if you can be in gratitude, because not only does it attract better things to you, you know, but it keeps you in a sane state as well when things around you could be totally chaotic.
Absolutely.
Gratitude is like always, it should always be everyone's fail safe, you know, your go-to when you're dealing with difficulty. Like if you are angry and you feel like you might be like upset or emotional in some way, thinking of something that you're grateful for, just one thing, it automatically changes your brain. It automatically changes your energy.
It changes your attitude too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, when you do, you don't want to sit there and focus in on the negative that you could have, right? Because that is going to make that difference energetically. But it's being grateful for the things that you do have. And a lot of people will say, well, you know, it could be worse. I could be this, I could be that, I could be this. Yes, you could, but you also don't want to place that energy upon others either. So, you know, even if you're, I can't, what is his name? I know he was in the movie, or, you know, the movie, The Secret. He talks about, it was him in a 1-room apartment, like literally 1 room, like just a bed. He pretty much had a dresser and a pencil. And he said, I was just grateful for the pencil, because with the pencil I could write, and with the writing I was able to create, and with the create, you know, I was able to you know, expand from that. And that is pretty much, and now he's a billionaire. Right. So when you think about it in those terms, it really does help. That energy is just the sitting there. And I mean, yeah, we can sit there and go, I wish I had this, and poor woe is me,
Right.
and all of that. Or even looking at somebody and saying, oh, I guess I could be worse, I could be them. But then in a way, you are sort of, like I said, you're broadcasting that energetic vibe onto another or into the air. And so when you're looking at it that way, I mean, you know, it's like people that could, you know, people that say, well, at least your kids aren't sick, at least this isn't. Okay, but again, you know, that is sort of a comparing, right?
Yes.
And then comparing, just be grateful. Just in that place of gratitude for what is surrounding you at that moment.
Plain and simple. Exactly. I mean, I saw so many posts and things where people were like laughing at Texas and like making fun of what was going on. They're like, oh, you deserve it. You are all conservatives down there and you have whatever, you know. I think a lot of people have preconceived notions about how or what Texas is. And, you know, I kind of rolled my eyes a little bit at people's ignorance and stuff when there are literally people like in emergencies and dying and bad things going on. All these people are making jokes, and I'm just like, wow, man, this is this is an interesting perspective y'all have. But okay, you know, I wonder how you would be if the situation was reversed. And again, gratitude sticks in right in those moments. It's like, okay, you know, they have no perspective, so I just continue to remain grateful for what I do have, like you said, and it helped everything. It felt great.
Well, you know, if I was to change the perspective of that, I mean, you know, we're like being where I am. I mean, it's not like we have. I mean, we still get hot weather. You know, we have the 4 seasons, right? I'm in Edmonton, so we have the 4 seasons. You know, unfortunately, like, you know, what was it last week? Our weather was -40. You know, -40 Celsius, which is funny because it does match that minus Fahrenheit. That's actually where the scale meets for the Fahrenheit and the Celsius, which is bizarre, right? But it, you know, -40 Celsius is like, you know, going 5 car lengths, you know, from getting groceries, and you're running to your car, your fingers are like turning cold, like where you can't feel your fingers. But if we were to switch that, so I mean, the weather that you guys had in Texas, that's like an average day, you know, in our winters, right? Like that's like an average day. But let's switch that, and let's say we all of a sudden had 100-degree or 105-degree temperatures here. Well, most of us don't have air conditioning, right?
Right.
So we don't have air conditioning. We don't have, you know, different our roads aren't really made for that. Like our tarmac, it's going to reach a certain level, it's going to get
cracks and
cracks and melted. Like, different places are made for different weather, right? And they're going to, I mean, I don't know if our roads would like literally start melting or not. I'm not a road expert or an engineer or anything like that, but you know what I'm getting at? Like, we're not used to that weather. So we would have a lot of people here that would be suffering simply because of the fact that there's no relief. We don't have that air conditioning in a typical house. We would have to go into the malls, or we would have to go somewhere to get that relief, right? Yeah. So that would be very, very similar conditions. I mean, I know when my son and I were in Vegas, I think it was 42 degrees Celsius there. So I don't even know what that is in Fahrenheit, to be honest.
That's really hot,
right? Like, I mean, we could hardly breathe. Like, we're like, you're taking breath and you're just like, wait a minute, I got air. I got it. I can get it. Let me stick my head in my car for a minute so I can pull in some breath here. But so that, I mean, that was, bizarre for us. Like, that was not a usual thing for us, right? Even in Universal Studios, they had these fans that they blow out this cold mist, and we would stand there for like 15 minutes just drenched because of the fact, like, all the Americans are looking at us like, look at the Canadians, dude.
They can't take the heat.
It was hot. I mean, I think in Universal, when we went, it was like 39 or 38 Fahrenheit or Celsius. So, I mean, that was hot. That's not a temperature we're used to. So, I mean, basically, I think we should just really kind of send out prayers to really, everybody that needs them at this moment. I think that would be probably a really good way of.
Well, this is something I think we need to be doing regularly, more so right now. Like Blue said in the chat, COVID has proven how many selfish people are out there. And they're right. Blue's right. Like, there were a lot of faces that we saw from people during the whole pandemic and outbreak. And everybody just kind of being on all sorts of different pages and getting angry at each other. And it was like, we were forced to learn to like be afraid of our neighbors, like, oh, our neighbors might be infected, so we have to fear them and stay away from them. And all of a sudden it's like, people turning against other people. And it's just, it's difficult for everybody. And so, my point being is that prayers should be sent out regularly, sending energy, manifestations, even astral hangouts or astral travel and working together. Anything that you can do that adds to your own physical realm, physical reality, by way of the psychic realm, astral realm, spiritual reality, emotional reality, that I think it all kind of adds up into something more positive being put out there when you engage in those moments. And when you do that, you generate better energy, period.
Yeah. It's as far like Blue was saying, what you had just said about how many selfish people, but it's going on both sides too, right?
Right. Oh, completely.
It truly is going on both sides. And it makes it, because everybody has different circumstances. And so we do have to be mindful of that. We have to be mindful of, like, we look at the business owners that are opening up here, they're trying to open up, or they were opening up before, that they were technically allowed to. And a lot of people were saying they're selfish. But in the other degree, you're kind of like, well, okay, we get it. We get what you're saying, but they have no food. Their businesses are attached to their homes.
Right.
If they lose their business, they lose their house. Now they're essentially homeless. How is that being selfish? So, you've got to kind of look at it in that manner. But in the same degree, then you've got the person who hasn't seen their parent or their child or, their husband in a year, because the restrictions keep happening. So, but there's going to be those both sides, right? There's going to be those both sides. And so that's what we have to be aware of. And I think that, it's just having that compassion is going to make that difference. It's like, yes, I understand your circumstances. I have to be mindful of my own, personal health and welfare and all of that stuff too. Like I can't live homeless, you know what I mean?
Right.
But at the same degree, I understand where you're coming from. So, there has to, but instead of blaming each other, what we really have to do is try to take a look at where this is all coming from. And sometimes that, makes a bigger difference. Take it to the higher,
well, that's exactly it.
But above, as far as where are these rules and these restrictions and all of this? It's not coming from you or I. It's not coming from your neighbor. It's not coming from but we're the ones that are trapped within that bureaucracy, right? And that also has to take a look at.
I find it so interesting that we're in like a very Aquarian time, and if I think of Aquarius, I think of Aquarius being more of a broad perspective where it's objective, where you step away from the personal and you look at something on a bigger scale, right? You're looking at things bigger than just yourself, because Aquarius really does inhabit that humanitarian kind of energy, and humanitarian requires you to remove the immediacy of yourself and to consider other people. But like you said, it's not at the detriment of yourself. You have to be good first. And that's a basic, I think, human understanding of, okay, I know I need to take care of myself first. You learn that early in life. Then, if you keep evolving and grow out of that consciousness, you can start, once those are automatic or autonomous, then you can start considering other people. Okay, now we have to consider, where are they coming from? What are they doing? Let me have all these considerations before I jump to any decisions or ideas or whatever, especially about other people. And we've got so many planets in Aquarius right now. That's why I keep saying, we're in such an Aquarian time that it's just, it seems, I wouldn't say coincidental. It obviously seems in divine timing for me. And I think some of you would agree here that it just makes sense. Of course, we do need to bring this objective perspective down to be able to see everybody's position.
It is funny because I'm very much like that. Like when we talk about, when we've talked about it before, and we've even had discussions where I'll be like, oh, I have to see the other point. Like I can't see my side. I think it's like part of that Aquarian type of nature. And it's not saying that they're better or worse than anybody else, because I'm going to tell you, there's times where I'm like, how can I not how do I make this about me? I want to make this about me at this point. But then you're like, okay, I see your point. I understand. I'm going to be upset at the moment. I might be upset at the moment, but the larger picture brings it here. And that's where I have to, it's like, usually Aquarians don't stay mad for very long, simply because they start looking at the other side and they start bringing in, they step back quite easily. And this is all Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Like, they can have that effect where they take that step back and look at the 3D picture of it all. And then they're like,
right.
Oh, okay.
Well, it gives you perspective.
I can make it 5 minutes about me. I'll stay in that energy. But after that, I have to start bringing in other stuff, right? I like what Matthew says, bird's eye view of the bigger picture beyond political divisions. Absolutely. And that's exactly, and you definitely know that feeling too. Yeah. Like that's so much that energy, and it drives you crazy because of the fact that you see people that are like, that stay in that energy of, like, I guess it's like, I want to say it's kind of a selfish nature, but it's really self-preservation to some degree.
Right.
But the nice thing is, if there was ever a zombie apocalypse, you want a freaking Aquarius in because they'll be like, okay, let's do this. Because they're looking at the whole picture, not just a single view of it. It's going to be a whole view picture, right? And I think Daryl on The Walking Dead, he's got to be an Aquarius. I could be wrong.
I gotta watch that. I don't know the characters yet.
That's too funny. So Yeah, it's been quite the week. I know that there's a lot of energy out there in general where people are just kind of.
Well, we're hitting the end of Mercury retrograde. We hit the last of it yesterday.
Oh God,
So
hey?
it's gone direct today, but it's still kind of stationary. So it's not going backwards. We're in that little transit period. So it's going to take about a week or two for it to really start picking up speed and coming back to normal. So I am certain a lot of people were feeling this retrograde cycle this year or this season.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people were feeling it.
Well, they were talking on the news even yesterday about just everybody's having like this fatigue, and I do feel that. I know our clients are feeling it. I know people on YouTube are feeling it. I almost dropped something. Sorry if you saw me jump. Really weird. But so I don't know. I'm thinking, let's get started maybe into the readings today and see what people are needing. Let's see what people are needing. And
yeah, that sounds great. So if you do want a reading, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. That is how you receive a free mini reading here.
I do want to say one thing before we get into that. Sorry, guys.
Sure.
Okay. So this week I have spent the week making all kinds of like TikTok videos, Instagram videos, and YouTube videos. Okay. So I'm going to be posting a monthly video for March for all of the signs. Okay. So there'll be 12 individual. It'll be, for a full view of the month of March. And then I'm going to be going into the weekly readings as much as I possibly can over the next little while. But I did make some TikTok videos and I did make Instagram videos. So what I'm going to ask you guys to do is, if you're on TikTok, I've got like 2 followers because I literally just started TikTok. If you can go to TikTok, it is under Oracle Intuitions. I shouldn't be that. I don't even know. I can always post something. I don't even know how to post a link to TikTok, but find me on there, follow me on there. I'm going to be posting, daily readings on there. I've got them already ready to go. I'm all excited. And again, follow me on Instagram as well. And please make sure that you're subscribed to the channel for a free reading. Follow me on Facebook, Oracle Intuitions. And Brandon, you're under the Dream Teacher. Did you want to give out all of your information as well?
Yeah. So just if you want to get in touch with me, contact me or have like a private session, or even just a free consultation. Not sure, what a reading would do for you, but you want to test it out, try a free consultation. So you can do all that at my website, thedreamteacher.com. I have some little projects that I have posted there. I actually did just create. So for those of you that have listened to me, I know Kathy knows this. And again, as I said earlier in the show, my part of my purpose, my path, my love is when people come together, and Spirit keeps wanting me to bring people together. So the next thing I have done here that is in pursuit of my own goal of building my Dream Space retreat is I have created a Patreon group where it's like a little social group. So for those of you who are like psychic and know you're psychic, or maybe you're developing, there's several different tiers that you can join and come onto this social media group via Patreon, where we're sharing all sorts of interesting stuff. I mean, we're sharing insights, psychic insights. We're giving readings and connecting. We'll have special shows there that they'll be unique, they'll be interesting, per the listeners. Everything's kind of formed around the community. So I'll post that link here in the chat. It's called The Collective Conscious on Patreon. So patreon.com/theccn. So I'll post that link here in the chat. But I have all that also on my website. So you can do everything there, thedreamteacher.com. Check out what I'm working towards, what you'll be able to take part in and engage in. It's going to be a beautiful space. That's what I'm all about creating.
Yeah. I haven't checked it out too much yet because it's been kind of a busy week, but I've been meaning to. So yeah, I'll go definitely check it out too. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see, you know, I'm just following what spirit keeps showing me. So I'm creating as they sort of will.
I keep getting hair in my eye. Sorry, guys. I honestly, I was petting my dog and he's so furry. And now that it's warmed up, so now I'm like dealing with, you know, how you get dog hair on your face and stuff like that. And it's just like, oh, it's annoying as heck. I apologize if it looks like I've got some sort of tics going on or twitches or something like that. I'm just like, nope, just getting off dog hair. It's all good. So let's do that. Did you want to run down how they can get a reading today?
Yeah, so again, make sure you are subscribed in order to be able to receive a reading. We also would appreciate a thumbs up here on the video. But if you do want to get a reading, what we'll do is we'll open the room here. Just put your first name, your date of birth, or your zodiac sign, and then your question in the chat. Depending on how many people, we might be able to get to everybody. If not, we'll put you in a lottery list. And, you know, we'll just put the lottery list anyways, just to make sure. So that way when people join in, if they join in a little bit later, they still get a chance to win a reading here. But just be subscribed. If you do want a guaranteed reading today, we do accept donations. That link is in the description box. Donations do get priority. So if you wanted a reading next, or you wanted a reading first, or a guaranteed chance of getting a reading, you can absolutely donate. We absolutely appreciate any donations. Again, that money goes straight into building the show and putting in enhancements, improvements. As you can see, if you've been following us, we've already got some new software that we'll be working with and upgrading here. It's really great. We appreciate you all doing that. And again, we just invest it right back into the show, so you get to experience the benefits of that. So we will honor those first. Otherwise, and you can donate at any time as well. It could be now, it could be at the end of the show, either way, and you'll still get your reading. Otherwise, everybody will be up to a lottery list, and then Kathy will tell you the things that we can and cannot read on.
Yeah. So the first thing that we don't read on is we don't do health situations. Okay. So please be aware of that. That's just, we're not medical doctors, and that's just not something that we feel that is ethical to do. We also don't do legal problems or legal issues. So be aware of that when you're posting your question. Try to give some details if you can in regards to the situation. Okay. It doesn't mean that you need to, you know, write us a novel or anything like that. Just basically like, you know, what is the question behind it? Okay. Rather than, you know, just putting your names, like if you're asking about another person, if you can just put their first name and, you know, at least their birth sign behind it, it just helps us to connect with that energy and what the question is. What is it that you would like to know? If you want to give a little brief history, that's fine. That's okay. But it's not absolutely necessary. Although just be aware that we may ask questions as we're doing the reading. So make sure that you're alert, or, you know, at least watching at the same time, so that if we need to say, okay, hey, look at, you know, is this connecting with you? Does this resonate with you? Then at least we have that, we're able to get that clarification from you. We do not do, we prefer not to do third-party situations, okay? I don't want to look into another relationship just simply because of the fact that we don't have really that other person's permission, like a third-party situation going on. We can look into the energy of somebody connected to you. That's okay. You know, we're not going to give you details or personal details of their whole life because, again, that's not our business, right? It's not your business either. So we won't get into that, but we can tell you what the energy is between the two of you. And also, I don't, for me personally, and I'm pretty sure Brandon doesn't either, and I'll explain why, is I do not do readings where I'm going to tell you what your soulmate looks like, or where you're going to meet them, or at what time of the day, or if it's going to be sunny, or if it's going to be at 12:01, or any of that junk. And the reason that I don't do it is simply because I don't like setting a precedent in somebody's mind. So if I was to tell you that you're going to meet, you know, somebody in 2 years and their name is Jack and they look like this, you're going to bypass a whole lot of people waiting for Jack to appear. And this is why we do not do it. So please do not ask. We will completely just refuse it right off the bat. You can have the opportunity to ask another question, but it won't be something that I look into. All right. So, yeah, I think that's about it.
I think that sums up everything. Honestly, one of the biggest things that I try to tell people is, this is for anything in life, what you put into it, you get out of it. So if you put in like a really good, honest, genuine energy in what you're inquiring about, you're likely going to get that back. Now, Kathy and I are pretty darn good at our jobs, and we're able to find meaning and purpose and messages regardless of what you ask. And sometimes, it could be something totally random. Yeah, we might address your question, but there also might be something important that spirit is really trying to push through, and we will communicate that. So just, be, I think, as clear and honest with yourself as you can in all moments of life, but especially when you're getting a readings, when we're looking at something so personal. Elena, I did get your question. I noticed you just retracted it, but I do have it. So did you still want to ask, and are you going to be here, or did you not want to have a reading anymore? Will, all right, mate. I've got you on the list. And who else? I think I've got everybody so far. And I don't know why that pasted as a different text. Oh well. Say lovey. But Elena, I do have you as well on the list, love. And so anybody else, if you're just joining us and just listening in, we are taking reading requests. So please go ahead and put those in the chat. Also type your question, or be sure to listen when you're called on. So that way you can put your question here in the chat. So be sure to listen closely. I am going to still do the lottery, Kathy, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Can you give me just a second? I just heard Amazon showing up at my house.
Uh-oh. Okay.
And I just want to make sure nothing gets stolen from my front step. So, just give me 2 minutes. I will run downstairs and I'll be right back. I just want to grab it so that it's not,
go right ahead.
Not stolen. Okay, I'll be right back. Just give me
Yeah, that's sadly, that's happening a lot lately. We saw some people where there are places where I saw on some neighborhood thing or maybe some news thing that people were getting packages stolen and mailbox broken into. It's a little crazy. So we don't blame you, Kathy. Yes, Asta, I'll put you down for a general reading. Let me just put that on your name here. General. All right, Matthew, I've got you. Jessica, I've got you on the list. Again, Elena, I do still see you here, and I do have your question. So make sure that you're listening in when I call upon you. Thank you for being here as well. We should be able to get to most everybody. That is, unless somebody doesn't come in and a bunch of people donate and they get priority. So that can still be done at any time again if y'all wish to do that. But don't worry, we should probably have plenty of time to get to everybody. Ooh, that was loud. I've got snow falling. It sounds like ice falling right now. Everything is melting. So again, I don't know if y'all are listening. We've been in snowstorm, 7 degrees. And now today it's like 54 degrees. That's Texas weather for you. But all the ice is melting and falling off the roofs and stuff. And they're just not used to it down here. Kay, yes, absolutely, love. Please put in your first name, date of birth, or zodiac sign, and your question. I'll have Kathy pin that the list is open. I'll type into the chat as well because I know it's a little bit delayed. So that way everybody knows. But I'll have Kathy pin the instructions and the information and stuff to the front, kind of how she has her Instagram tagged there. But regardless, so just to share a little bit more with you all about my little project. So I've been really trying to embrace, for those of you that know tarot, my inspiration has been the Queen of Pentacles. And that's like the vibe. That is my vibe. That is my energy. That is what I want to bring to people. It's something that I've always had in my life, especially when I was younger. And I think, in my late 20s, I definitely started to become more self-focused, not selfish, but self-focused, just to make sure that I was good and in a good place. And now that I'm good, you have to take care of yourself first before you can take care of others. Now that I'm good, I'm ready to begin helping people and taking care of others in different ways and in even bigger ways. So that's why I started this group, the Collective Conscious, where people can contribute and help each other grow. But my little dream space retreat, if you can see it on my website, thedreamteacher.com, click on the projects tab. I'll even paste it here in the chat. This is what I'm working towards. This is what all of the finances raised, all the work that I do, it's working towards this, is creating the space. And I'm just super excited to have this space and bring Kathy on down. We'll have all sorts of maybe workshops. We'll be doing retreats and stuff. So it's gonna be really cool, and there are a few different steps in getting there. So I think this Patreon is just one of them. Kathy, welcome back. Hopefully your packages are all there. Could you pin my comments that the readings are open?
Yeah, where is it? Let's see.
Should be pretty recent. It's right up at 2:24. Oh no, I'm sorry. 2:43.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Got it. Perfect. All right.
Let me make sure I've got everybody else here. Lala. Okay, let me get you on the list. And Kay. Got you on this. All right, so our list is growing, so we will have to make sure we do the lottery here. And there's Kay. Gotcha, Kay.
Let's pick a number too, as to see, are we just going to go until 3, or are we going to do a set amount?
I think we should just do the time limit here. Let's just go based on time, the time that we have.
Okay.
All right, let me update my list. We've got Lala now, and we've got Kay. All right, and again, if you're just joining in, you still can get on the list. Just follow the instructions there up on the screen, and we'll be good to go. Put you right on the list. All right, let's get out the random number generator. Where is it? There we go. And let's start the reading portion, shall we?
Sounds good.
All right, so first up is going to be number 7, and that is Lala.
Yes. All right. What would Lala like to know? Let me actually just find her comment here, and I can pin it. You guys, if you don't want your comment pinned, just let me know. Otherwise, I might just pin them up just because it makes it a little bit easier for us to see. And I can't find Lala. Why can I not find Lala? Oh,
so Lala did not post a question, so make sure you post your question, Lala.
Oh, you're so beautiful. I think we said that to her last time, and now that I can see her picture in a bigger venue on my screen, like, oh, you're so pretty. Okay, Lala, what would you like to know? What are we looking into?
I do like the fact that we can pin the comments up now. It's pretty cool. All right, so I'm just posting in the chat real quick everybody's little lottery number. So your number is right before your name. So that way you can keep a listen for your number if it's called, and follow along with us. But don't worry, we've got all that information here. So we will keep you updated. All right, so Josefa, I apologize if I mispronounced that. Make sure you type your question here in the chat.
I don't.
So maybe she is on a delay. Maybe she might, or her screen might be a little bit behind. Everyone, make sure you refresh. Your stream is up to minutes. Otherwise, we could just go on to somebody else and come back to Lala.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, Lala, we're going to go on to somebody else, but when you do respond, we'll be able to put you up next. So whenever that moment is. All right, so next up is going to be number 4. Number 4, Will. And Will, I also need a question from Will as well. Oh, there's Lala. All right, so we'll do Lala and then we'll do Will. Okay, Lala's question is in the chat.
Okay. May I get a love reading for what's headed my way timeline? Will I meet my husband this year? Okay. So the first thing I actually picked up, I actually heard a month right away. Sounds like it was almost immediate. So I actually heard the month of November. I don't know if this is going to be, I don't feel like you're going to be married this year, you know, but I feel like November is going to be very significant for you. I remember we did a reading for you last week. I don't usually remember from week to week. Okay. You know, as to what, somebody's asking, simply because of the fact I like to look at things fresh. But what I am getting is that November is going to be very significant. This could be the meeting of somebody. This could be the advancing of somebody that you have met already, or, you know, throughout the year. I'm also really getting something about August really coming through. So this could be where things are really advancing for you, like August coming through, where you may be meeting somebody. It could be a step forward coming in November is what I'm getting. Okay, so I will tell you, though, what I am hearing very, very strongly. I feel like this is going to be a new person. I don't feel it's going to be a past person for some reason, or a new energy from somebody. Like, you know, because sometimes when we ascend or evolve, we can bring in a new energy, like, you know, somebody from the past. But what I'm getting is a truly new energy coming through. What I'm also hearing too is that you're not going to tolerate any. You are not a woman to tolerate any nonsense. And I really like your energy. And what I'm really getting here is like, this person is going to be strong. I'm also hearing the word reliable, but there may have to be some, I don't want to use this word, but I'm going to use this word. There may be some training that you have to do, like to get them. And what I mean by that, not like a puppy or anything, but, you know, you may have to really kind of set some boundaries with them. Like if they say that they're going to call and they don't call, you may have to set some boundaries within that person. Let them know, like, hey, look, I don't tolerate this kind of nonsense. You want to play this game, you go play somewhere else. And I feel like this person really stepping up. Like, they're not going to be the kind that just says, yeah, okay. It's more that they didn't realize that you had those, I guess boundaries is another best way to say it. I can't tell you exactly when that you're going to meet this person. And I can't guarantee that this is going to be somebody that you're going to marry, but I can tell you that this will be a very strong relationship because both of you are going to be willing to put that work into this relationship to help it evolve. Like, it's not going to be any mind games. There's not going to be, any third party situations. There's not going to be any, crap. It's going to be like, this person's going to be consistent. They're going to be coming in. There's going to be good communication. There's going to be, where the both of you really want to advance this, but you're also not rushing into this. This is going to be a process. It's going to take time, but not years of a time. Like, you both are going to be very consistent with this process. That's what I'm feeling. So stay open this year is what I'm really hearing. I hope that that's helped.
I think that's such great advice because of, just what I'm tapping into as well. Spirit keeps showing me that this year for you, Lala, is going to be quite grounding in a very new way, where they show me a whole other part of yourself really gets to open up this year. They keep showing me communication is going to be quite important. And the one other thing that I am feeling is Spirit shows me that you are going to get to this stability because of what's being cut off from the past in this year. And it feels like you're going to be doing this in the next 2 months, 2-3 months, actually, where you're going to be really making sure and revisiting all the energetic ties and attachments to yourself, even past loves and relationships. They'll really be energetically cut off, and it's going to provide you a new sense of stability that I don't know if you have felt it ever or felt it in a long time. And I know that when you feel it, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, it feels like a whole piece of myself was missing. How did I live without this? And it's in that state, continuing that state, is how you're going to meet your partner. So I think Kathy is absolutely right. And especially in her timeline here, it does make sense. So honestly, just kind of stay focused on your own self, your own growth. And again, if you need to place your focus somewhere, focus on cutting off the energies that are draining you or kind of keeping you tethered in past ideas, because this really is the year for security and feeling rooted and anchored in yourself.
Yeah, this is also really much a year, 2021. I mean, last year, we all had, so much going on, right? So much. But now, now we're getting into a place where we can be, and it's not about being selfish. It's about recognizing who you are, what your values are, where your ethics are, what you bring to the table, what you bring to the table, what somebody else brings to the table. It's recognizing this, and it's acknowledging this and going, okay, this is what I have. This is what I'm bringing to the table. I'm going to put it all out there. That's okay, right? I feel like this is the year. There's a lot of soul connection that's happening this year as well. And, that's been coming for a while now. It was sort of a process over the last, let's say, 5 or 6 years where people were really starting to kind of connect with themselves, connect with, whatever term you wish to call it, whether it's twin flames, soul mates, soul connections, soul family, soul tribe, whatever. There's a lot of souls that are starting to reconnect at this time. Yes. And so becoming your best self, wherever that is. And, we were talking about this last week, Brandon, is where we were really saying, there's that energy, there's those, I have to love myself first. I have to be all of this. I have to be all of that. And really what that does, I mean, I do agree with that. I think that we have to be very, we can't be in a place where like, oh, I'm so stupid. I'm so this, I'm so that, blah, 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 blah. We can't be in that energy, but here's the bottom line. There's not one human being on earth that's going to be perfect. Right? We're always going to find a flaw in something that we are either doing or the way we look or whatever it is. Like, we're going to have flaws. We're human beings. And that's it. Nobody's going to be perfect. And we should never be putting ourselves into a place where we're like, oh, this person is above me. This person is above me. Now, I mean, as long as we're doing our best of what it is that we can do at that time. Okay. So let's, you know, this is what we have to connect with. This is what we have to recognize and move forward with. So I feel like this being a very strong year. So when you ask if you're going to meet this person or your husband this year, I feel a very strong connection coming in. Whether or not you guys get married is always going to be, you know, really your choice, right? There's always that choice that comes through. And that's what we have to be aware of. So yeah. We'll just leave it at that, and I hope it's helped. So
there's no better way to share a soul connection than to make sure you're grounded in your own soul and self.
Yeah.
That's the best way to do it. Because you know what, though, Kathy, now that you brought that up, I want to bring this up as well. If you are not centered in your own soul, body, mind, soul, if you're not centered in that place, you're not going to recognize if a soulmate comes across you. You're not going to recognize it at their level because you're not in that state, right? Because you don't even know what it looks like. It's the same thing as we were talking about last week about being in love. If you don't even know what love looks like, then how are you ever going to be able to share it, you know, with somebody else or yourself? So I think it's just being grounded in that soul awareness. It generates more soulful connections, plain and simple, as a catch-all for anything that people might be unsure of or inquiring. I mean, it clicks.
Yeah. And this is 100% true. Sorry, I was just
taken care of.
Yeah. I'm moving through and scrolling here. Okay. So Beauty did give a donation. I did verify that. And I think we should, I think Will had posted his question, did he not? Or
yeah, so we'll do Beauty. Beauty, can you remind us of your name, love? I'm so sorry. I thought I had it from last week. I did forget. I'm so sorry. It's been a crazy week for me. So yeah, we'll do Beauty and then we'll do Will.
Okay.
Because, you know, that's why we have the donations. You can move right up to the top of the list if you do donate. You're very welcome, Lala.
You're very, very welcome. I hope it's helped. Just
honestly, I just have this beautiful vision of her. Like, I just see her as being this strong individual person. What?
I said she's absolutely gorgeous. I mean, she's got such a good energy about her, right?
No, love her picture. I love that. Love the vibe and energy. I just see her as like this strong, grounded powerhouse.
And Beauty is wondering, what are my Capricorn's intentions and feelings? Okay, so she's a Virgo. Beauty, what's your first name? Just give me just the first name that you have.
I totally forgot.
And maybe their first name as well, please, if you can.
Yeah, just first names. We're not, we just like, honestly, names really do hold a lot of energy as much as like even a birth date does as well.
Yeah.
And that's why I always ask my clients, I'm like, I would like their first name and date of birth, just because it's a direct channel right into their energy. Like, it's just so seamless. Okay. Tori, that's right. Tori. Thank you, Tori.
Capricorn. What are my Capricorn's intentions and feelings? Okay, let me just tap in for a second, Tori. And Brandon, if you want, you're more than welcome to, jump in too if you feel like it. But I just need a second or two here.
Yeah, let's connect and tap in here. See what's going on for Tori. Oh, you want to know the Capricorn's intentions and feelings. Gotcha.
Okay. I don't remember if I'm pretty sure that we've answered on this before. Like I could be wrong, but the energy that I'm receiving from this Capricorn, as of right now, I don't know why I'm getting this weird image. Okay.
Because of the energy. That's why.
Yeah, but it's this energy of literally where this person has their arms stretched out, kind of like wanting to hug you or pull you in or trying to grab onto you or some sort of energy like this. So that,
Yes.
did you get that? Like, it's so
Well, it's so funny. It's so funny you say that just because of your vision and then the energy I pick up on. I feel them like at a distance, but they're trying to like find a way to get close. And that's where I see the arms outstretched.
Like they're outstretched. Like they're not pulled in at this point yet. They're outstretched still is what I'm getting.
So they're like reaching.
They're not holding back. They're like wanting
They're reaching.
Like they're reaching for.
Yeah.
But they're not quite there yet. It feels as though the energy, okay, you know what I'm hearing? I feel like their intentions need to be a little bit more defined with themselves. It almost feels like this person has an awful lot going on. This could be work, school, a family, something external, like it almost, or this even could be just a mental state, like they're busy in the side of their head. And I feel like they're trying to figure out their, like their path or their, how do I create this? How do I make this happen? They're not quite ready for the full pull in at this moment because it feels like they have an awful lot that they've got to sort through first. And again, it feels like, it just feels like they're really busy. And again, I don't know if this is an external busy or a mental busy, like a lot of running stuff through their head. I feel like they do think a lot, like there's a lot of chatter that's going on within their head. So they might have a lot of stuff on the go, but you know what I'm hearing is June, something about June coming through. And it feels like this next little while, there is going to be I don't know if you guys are in contact or whatever it is, but I do feel like this person is going to be making some sort of a stronger connection towards you. This isn't going to happen until, I'm hearing the letter M, so I don't know if that's March or May. I'll be honest with that. It's kind of like that March or May, but it feels as though coming into June, things will start to get a lot stronger. Like they'll start to be more consistency within, they're reaching out or something along that line. Like there's going to be more consistency. It's the truth. He works a lot. Yeah. Yeah. So it just feels like there's so much on their plate right now that to bring you into something, they know it's not fair. Like it almost feels like there's this energy of, I would really like to be with this person, but I've got all of this crap going on at this moment. And the time isn't, like they don't have that time. They don't have the energy. It feels like they want to be able to give you more. And it's funny because Capricorns are very work orientated. Like they're very, very work orientated, but they can also, create a balance for relationships usually quite easily if they have a balanced energy within them. Okay. So I feel like this is why he's trying to clear things off, or he's trying to, make that connection a little bit stronger, but he just can't do it at this moment. So I feel like there is some patience that needs to come in here. It also feels like there's a little bit, I think, other women, there might be other women that are interested, but I'm not seeing them around him. Like, I don't think that matters whether they're interested or not. Like, I'm not getting that. I think he's very playful in his talk, and I think he can be flirty, and he, I don't know if he's in sales or something, but it feels like, he has a good rapport with people, but I usually will get an image of something else attached, like an attachment of some sort. I'm not getting an attachment. I feel like his arms are out for you, not for everything that's around him. That's what I'm getting. So
it feels like, he's just kind of in this state of, it reminds me of somebody who's like waiting for somebody to approach them. But when I'm looking into his intentions, I do feel there is this need to share emotionally. But the thing I feel with this Capricorn is that once emotions are hit, things get more serious. And what Spirit keeps showing me is that the playful, fun energies are probably likely to fall away in the near future for a couple weeks. Because the emotion just feels so serious. So I think just kind of expect that sort of more serious vibe, Tori, with this Capricorn male. And sometimes, it's not going to be as playful. We got to get into the brevity of emotions and why it's so important. And, we all handle our own emotions differently. And this doesn't feel to be a bad thing. I think what it really does is it really sets a precedent for how the tone of the connection is going to continue, over this duration of a short time. So I think just be receptive right now. If you don't want to overextend your energy, you certainly don't have to. I know that he seems to be like looking and reaching and waiting for people to come to him. But please understand that there is definitely emotional capacity that feels ready. It just might not be as fun or flirty as playful. It might be a little bit more serious in nature. And if you can meet and match that level, I think you'll be able to generate more of a connection.
Mm-hmm. So I hope that's helped, Tori. I hope we gave you, I hope that helped clear up some things.
All right. Hi there, Eileen. I am going to add you to the list. So what we're doing is, in order to be able to give everybody a chance, we put you on a lottery list here. So your number, Eileen, is going to be number 9. I'm going to paste the list in the chat so that way you know which one is your number. All right, so then next up we've got Will. And did Will post his question in the chat?
General,
the general store.
All right. Oh, Will, you're gonna make it fun. All right. It almost feels like a lot of things have cleared for you. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but it feels like it feels as though there's been some clearing, some new direction. There might be a little bit more confusion, or oh gosh, that's geez, Kathy, could we get more random? It feels like as you're cleaning some stuff up, okay, there's been some things that you've cleared up. It's like you've kind of got a new direction of where it is that you want to go. You kind of made some sorry, I forgot to turn my volume down. My Facebook was going off. My apologies. But it's okay. It feels like you've cleared some things off, right? Like you've cleared some things off. You've cleared off some elements that you were trying to maybe get past. However, at the same time, it feels like maybe more things have popped up. It almost feels like you've cleared yourself energetically of your own stuff. It's like you've given yourself a new path. You've cleared a lot of things. Like maybe you've given yourself this new direction, but it almost feels like somebody's piling something onto you. And this could be people that are around you. Like it feels like there could be a pressure coming in from others. Does that make any sense to you? Because it feels like as you're clearing stuff off, it's kind of like a work situation, but not exactly. It's like, you know how you see in those TV shows where somebody just finally gets through the last file folder and they're like, phew, and then somebody else comes along and goes, oh, by the way, here, plunk, and gives you a whole bunch of other stuff. But it feels as though who's ever giving you this stuff, it feels like they're external, like it feels like their stuff. Like they're trying to create an issue, not create an issue. It's just like more their emotional garbage that they're throwing at you. Okay. So he says he gets it. I feel like you just need to put up some blockages around you right now, energetic blockages, because even though I feel your energy is a lot stronger than it has been in the past, like you're actually a very strong person energetically. Like you have a lot of good energetic vibes. You've got this really nice aura that's surrounding you. I feel like whoever this is, it almost feels like, you know, okay, and again, let's imagine like a big bubble. Okay, I feel like visual aids are needed here. I don't know why, but imagine like a big bubble or your aura that is surrounding you, and this is actually in a really good shape. But what I'm keep getting is somebody has almost like a broom and they're like poking in and like, okay, I'm just gonna keep bugging at you. It feels like you have to put stronger blockages up, kind of like, no, you are not allowed in this space. You're not allowed to get to me. You're not allowed to, you know, throw your junk. This is my space. That's your space. You stay on that side. This is my space. And that's what I keep getting. I hope that makes sense. That for a general reading, that's what I'm getting for you. I'm also getting here that, as you're clearing this path, this almost feels like this is a last thing that you need to clear. Whatever this person, place, or thing is that is trying to interfere, this feels like a last thing. And once you get through this, the road is really clear for you to really go towards what it is that you're trying to create. And I feel like this could be, you know, work, career, just kind of generally getting yourself into the next level, like leveling up, literally leveling up. And this, whatever this is that you'll be getting rid of, you'll see it happen. So.
Yeah. I mean, I have to second that, you know, sense of structure, stability, keeping the energy strong. Spirit shows me that this is the place, you know, well, it might seem like, I don't know, in your perspective, if it seems like you might be in a little bit of a void, that could be like the confusion that Kathy was picking up on. But really, like she was saying, your energy really is strong. And I think you're going to be able to see that at least objectively over this next week. But Spirit shows me something is coming up for you. And I don't know how much you would want to block this energy out is dependent on you specifically, but they just keep showing me that in the very near future, they're talking about the next few weeks even, that there is a chance for your heart to fall for someone or something. So maybe that is that penetration into your bubble that Kathy was also picking up on as well. And sometimes those, you know, those little bubble bursts, those can actually be a really good thing. You know, if we fall for somebody and fall in love in some way or something, that really can be a good thing. And discerning what to let in and what let out is really the biggest challenge. You know, when you have your little stronghold, if you have your little protective bubble or blockages, they serve great. But if you keep them up too high or don't set certain precedents, you know, you can block out some good stuff. So I think being clear anytime we have blockages, it's important that we remember, okay, you know, we still have to have a little checks and balances of what we are going to let in. It's just like when Kathy was talking about, if you were to like sage and remove all entities in a space, but like Kathy has said, what if you remove something that, okay, maybe it wasn't supposed to be there, but it's serving as a protection mechanism for yourself or your home or your space. You're taking that away if you sage and cleanse, you know, too much. So sometimes you have to have that discernment of like, you know, are they worthy of coming into my bubble or not? And knowing yourself and being grounded is exactly what we're talking about, because when you know those things, then you know what should be let in or not. So very big chance, it seems, that you are going to be falling for something, falling in a good way.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a good. I just feel like this, whatever this is, that just needs to be, I guess, eliminated or reinforced, you know, like kind of put into their place in some way. It almost feels like one of those people, and again, I don't know if it's an actual, you know, person. I feel like it is a person though, but it almost feels like one of those people I don't like watching other people advance in some manner, like trying to hold you down in a way. So once you eliminate that or give, again, stronger boundaries and say, look, that's your place. This is my life. I'm moving forward. I'm doing this. I'm doing what I need to do. You will see that energy change and just opening up the path for you. That's what I keep getting.
Will be an interesting next few weeks, I think, Will.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know what I really love is that being able to do this every week, we see the advancement too. And I love that.
It's so cool.
Mm-hmm. So, all right. I hope that's helped, Will.
Thank you for your question, mate. All right. Who is going to be next? Actually, first, I just want to do something to change the energy here, if you don't mind, Kathy.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can feel that there are certain energies popping in and out of the chat, and I want to be sure that our vibration is much higher than any of that energy. Mm-hmm. So take a breath. Let's take a breath together. Let's close our eyes for a moment. If you're at home or safe to do so, just close your eyes. We're all just going to breathe together. Taking a nice deep in-breath through the nose. Hold the breath briefly. And exhale. Allow all negative energies to fade away and just fill yourself with presence, peace, calm, and love. Right here, right now. Let's share in all of that together. Whew. Okay. Just wanted to get everybody on the same page here, kind of vibrate in the same sphere, if you will.
Yeah. Were you picking up something?
What's that?
What were you picking up?
It just feels like there are some energies that have been popping in and out that are not of a loving nature. We'll put it that way. So I just wanted to make sure that energy was cleared out.
All right.
Not that I have a problem dealing with adversity. I mean, come on, if you want to be confrontational, let's go. But don't be sideways confrontational. Don't be passive aggressive. You know, if you want to be confrontational, then be direct. You're very welcome, Eileen, Matthew. Very, very welcome. Okay. Next up, are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
Going to be number 8.
Eileen, all right. Thank you so much.
Number 8 is
K. I'm sorry, Eileen. I didn't mean to get you excited.
There we go.
K. Where is K? All right, here we go.
I believe I have K's question as well. There we go, Kayla. Virgo, what is the job promotion that I'm getting soon? Was told through the grapevine that I would be promoted.
Okay, well, I would have to know what kind of job you have first. I'm sorry. I would need a little bit more on that. Just because just to say like a manager or something, I think that's just it just sounds too general for me. You know what I mean? If you could just sort of put into the comments what your position is or what your career is, I guess that I think that would help. Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm just going to tap into Kayla's energy.
Yeah,
see what I'm picking up. So I definitely do feel an opportunity. Spirit is showing me that it seems a little unsure. There does seem to be like question and fluctuation with this position. It's something that does on the outside sounds like it's something really, really stable. So it feels like it's going to sound that way, but Spirit shows me the actual application of the promotion, meaning once you get into the position or that job, it seems like you'll see it as being something like, oh, these people don't have this together. Like, now am I going to come in here and fix all this stuff because nobody else did this the right way? So I can definitely feel you having to do that, kind of go in and be the fixer and tune everything up. I also feel like there could be some kind of travel involved with this, or working with people at a distance, possibly networking. Spirit just shows me far and long distances from wherever you are, your own centralized location. So again, that could either be you having to literally travel or just dealing with a lot of people that are far away.
I keep hearing something that could have to do with like, I want to say sales of some sort. Like it almost feels like there's sales, promotions, something along that line. This even could be just like, working like front desk or something along, but there is going to be that contact more with the general public or people bringing. I just feel like you're it's like you're coming out of the shadows a little bit, because I just saw that you were cleaning and maintenance is what you were saying with the gym. And for me, it feels like they're bringing you out of the shadows, I guess would be the best way to say it. It feels like there's going to be more direct contact with people. And again, this could be like sales, it could be front desk, it could be something along that line. I keep hearing something about organization, something about organizing, where you may be put into a place of organizing in some way. Like it feels as though somebody has recognized your skills of organizing or general organization. I'm not 100% sure what they're telling me here, but that's basically what I'm getting. I agree with Brandon, where there's going to be more face-to-face contact that's coming in through here.
Well, so I keep picking up on something, and it just, I want to put it out there just because I feel strong about it.
Okay. Go ahead.
Spirit shows me that there is like clouded energy as far as the career or idea of work itself. And they do show me that there is consideration of other things. Now, I would stay at this job. You're saying in the chat, should I stay here or, where I am? I feel that this current job for you, Kayla, is serving a purpose. But I don't feel that it's going to be where you ultimately end up. It just feels like it's serving for the moments. We have things, reason, season, or a lifetime. This one kind of feels like a reason and a little bit of a season. But they keep showing me that there is going to be other considerations, and they show me that specifically work that you're going to be doing will involve the brain, the mind. It's just you making sure that you are utilized in the proper way seems to be the hang up with your work and your consideration. I think that's what kind of adds to the confusion. So I wouldn't stop searching, because Spirit does show me that something kind of enters as you do actively search and you are looking for things that are more associated with using the mind. But I don't think that where you're at is going to be the end all be all. Definitely continue just to work up in the area, because anything, that you get promoted will always look good on a resume. But I think still continuing your search is still going to bring you something that is more fruitful and personally rewarding for your own self. So I actually do see that transition happening. Spirit shows me the search is found later this year. They're showing me around like August, September time frame where you're going to be able to find something. So I think just stay where you are for now, but definitely still seek growth. That seems important.
She's asking, so they'll take advantage of me. I don't know.
She might view it that way. She might see it that way.
Yeah, like it feels like there's some sort of responsibility that isn't really yours.
Exactly.
I feels I keep hearing the word scapegoat, and I don't know why that is, but it almost feels like somebody else wouldn't take the job, or they left a mess or whatever it was. And they're like, okay, well, let's put somebody else in this position who would be best for it. I feel that you were picked because of some sort of skills that you have, but at the same time, I don't know if this is the best move forward. I agree with Brandon in the extent that keep looking for other things. You have to stay where you're happy, right? Whether or not it's a promotion or not a promotion. If you're not going to be happy in that position, you could maybe take a trial on it and say, look, I'll try this for a couple weeks, but if this doesn't work out, I want my old position back. Maybe you could, present that offer to it. But it just feels like there's some mess that has been left behind, even if you don't see it immediately. And to take the promotion, it could be
cleaning up other people's messes,
cleaning up something else. Yeah. And something just doesn't feel quite on par. So just be aware, use your own intuition. I mean, if the job sounds great and it's something that you want to do, definitely try it. But I'm kind of getting that if you're, I don't know, I'm not getting the best feeling about it at this moment. I'm going to be honest. It doesn't feel.
It's not the most positive or purposeful thing. No, it's not. It's serving a means, and you're exactly right. It's not. It's more neutral than it is positive.
Yeah, absolutely. It's. I agree 100% that I feel something else coming in throughout this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it could backfire. Yeah, it could backfire. Definitely.
So like I said,
I would honestly just say, I wouldn't mind trying this, but if this is not my thing, I want to go back to my old position. Keep it as maybe a trial period or something like that. So that we're out of a job.
Or when they approach you, for the promotion, be like, sure, but what all is involved and what are my compensations? What is all of this? Let me make a detailed decision, on if I want to do this or not, and kind of force them. And even if you can negotiate a little bit, that actually might help your position a little bit. To reap the benefits of being promoted. But if you can't see anything very clearly when they offer that to you, then that's going to be your big sign, like, I appreciate it. Thank you. But I'll just.
Yeah, something that you'll like later this year. Absolutely. I feel like you're not going to be getting all the information. It feels like there's things that are hidden in regards to this job, like things that somebody, or they'll brush it under the rug, and be like, oh, but we told you about that. And you're like, yeah, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. No.
It reminds me of you getting a job, and then all of a sudden when you've gotten the job and you showed up for your second day, they're like, oh, you also have to do this. And you're like, you never told me I had to do that.
Right. Yeah. So there's something not quite being displayed honestly here is what I get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I do see, yes, something that you will like later on, something that is much more, it just feels organized. It feels harmonious. There's beauty around it. It seems like you'll be doing something where people are social in some way. What I keep getting a vision of is this, back in, I don't know, maybe it was like the 1800s or early 1900s, where when you would meet people or court somebody, you would meet in the garden, right? Like the community garden, and you would dress up and look really nice. And you would, ask for permission to ask your gal to go for a walk and court her. And it's got that kind of vibe of being social and people mixing in this way. It just has a lot more harmony in it for whatever reason. It just sits much better with your energy, Kay. So, stay where you are, take care of yourself and your responsibilities, obviously, but definitely keep open that search.
Mm-hmm. So I hope that's helped. Yeah. And I mean, if you feel good about it, or if you feel like you want to take it, by all means. But again, I really would try to put an option in there. Like, can I go back to, or whatever.
Yeah.
Most places will allow that to some degree, especially if it's not upper management or whatever, right? For a gym, I don't see why they wouldn't. Why they wouldn't allow that option to be, right? So, that I think that even that, if they said no, that might even just tell you right there, no, okay. because most places will allow that for the most part. You're so welcome, Kay. So very welcome. All right. Who is next?
All right. Thank you, Kay, for your question. Next up is going to be number 9.
Oh, good. Okay.
That one's Eileen.
Now I don't feel quite so bad for calling out your name last time.
All right, I'll just make sure Eileen is still here. So I do have Eileen's question. Eileen is Sagittarius and is asking, what blockage are the Libra's parents creating for our connection? So assume Libra is the interest, love interest, I'm going to jump out and say.
And Kanza is her name. I know. Wait a minute. Okay. So Eileen, your name is Kanza. I'm just clarifying, and you're the Sagittarius and the Libra's parents. Okay, creating for your connection. What? Okay, I have to ask a weird question, and I don't know if this is relating to you, but if you could just clarify in the chat for me. Ash. Oh, okay, never mind. That's another question. I thought I was reading the same one. Could you just clarify for me, Eileen, is there an arrangement going on somewhere within? I don't know if this is your energy that I'm picking up on or his energy that I'm picking up on, but there's something about an arrangement. This could be like his parents have an arranged marriage. I don't know it. Like, I don't know if any of that makes sense. So that's why I'm asking for the clarification, because it feels like there is a plan in place. And I just want to make sure I'm tapping into your energy and not, an energy that's coming in from somewhere else. So does that make any sense? Did that make any sense to you, Brandon?
I wasn't able to listen fully to what you're saying. I'm trying to add everybody on the list here. All the new people that are coming in.
Right.
We were set up through a range 2 years ago. There you go. There's that.
Yeah. So, okay. I felt like, okay, mom's set up us like an Indian marriage. Okay. Yeah. Cause I just kept feeling like an arranged marriage. So thank you for that confirmation. And so what blockages are the parents bringing in? I just feel like, I'm just trying to, I'm not, we aren't married though. No, you're not married yet. So I just, again, I'm going to clarify. I'm sorry. Cause like I said, it did feel like an arranged marriage, but so you're basically saying that the Libra's parents, like his parents, are creating an issue now, even though that you have this arrangement set up? Is that because I'm getting all kinds of like different energy? We are energetically connected to each other. Okay. I'm still kind of confused. I don't know if you're tapping into any of this energy, Brandon. It just feels like for me, yeah, possibly.
I keep feeling I'm specifically tapping into the parents. And what I feel is there's a lot of, I don't know, a lot of discernments, a lot of blockages with the parents where they kind of have their own track, their own path, their own focus. And Spirit keeps showing me that the parents have like a friend who has a child who they want to hook up with Kanza. And it just seems like they already have their own ideas in their minds and they're like making everything difficult. It seems, I don't know, they just seem very hard to reach is what Spirit keeps saying over and over again. So that makes me feel that they're kind of closed off, not taking outside ideas. They're not being influenced in any way. They just want to keep their own track, their one track mind right now. So it does feel like the Libra's parents definitely have some other notions or ideas in their mind, and they're trying to make their path happen. So I do feel that they are likely kind of causing a little bit of friction and difficulty. In fact, Spirit keeps showing me that it's because of these ideas, these notions in their mind, that they are creating distance in the connection. Yes, the Libra's parents.
Yeah. I keep getting something from the mom. Like, it feels like she has a really, really, really strong energy. And it feels very strict, like a very strict energy. Oh, so they have a friend's daughter is that basically what you're saying? Is that is that what they have, or is she asking what you had picked up? I'm confused.
I think they're asking on what I picked up, because that is what I'm feeling. Is it's like they already have somebody in mind that they want, that the Libra person to be with. But I have to say, Kanza, I really, really, I really like your energy, but I really like the connection between you and that Libra. Like, there's something about it that it's like the two of you fit together so incredibly well. Your energies match, you challenge each other. There is balance. It's such a good connection. So I totally feel for you and the frustration that you might be going through with, the parents and causing all this block.
I'm not so much particularly picking up on somebody else, but what I am picking up, which is not saying that it's not there or it is there. What I am getting is a really strong energy from the mom, and it feels as though she's got a very strict energy, and it feels as though because this connection that you have with this Libra, it is a very, very if people were around you, people would almost, it's that type of energy that people could have a little bit of envy of, right? Because when the two of you together, it is a very strong, secure energy is what it feels like. Like the two of you together there's a very strong connection. And I kind of feel like the mom is a little bit, there's a bit of competition coming in from this mom. It almost feels like she will lose control. I think she kind of expected that her Libra son, I'm assuming the son, that he would have somebody weaker, or somebody that she could have more control of the situation, or have more control of the couple, is what I'm getting. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I think I think I'm explaining it about as clear as I can. But it feels as though the mom, looking at the two of you, there is this very strong connection, as Brandon had said. There's a very strong duality with the two of you, and she knows that the two of you will fight against any, if let's say she was to say something that neither of you agreed on, or that if you didn't agree on, she knows the son would stand up for you. Like, she knows that the son would come and stand for you and not go with his mom. So I think that's where some of that. That
is such a good point, Kathy. That's such a brilliant interception of information right there. That's so
right.
Good.
And yeah, because he financially supports the family. So I don't know if there's really like a person there that she might be trying to introduce somebody else to him. Like, oh, hey, look at this weaker person over here. Maybe you should go for this person instead. But the only blockage that I'm picking up is really because of the fact that you and him are so strong together, that she's not going to be able to, if she says, look, we're having family dinner at my house, and you're like, no, I'm staying home, she's going to be like, no. And he will stand up for you. That's what I keep getting. So
I just want to say real quick, for those of you that are listening, if you are psychically aware or anything, or maybe not, I just want to highlight the brevity of how important that what you just picked up on is, Kathy, like that is such good reading right there. Like you were able to pick up on that energy and interpret and understand it so well to this point where you could really see the inner workings of it. Like that was amazing. That really is such a great thing to pick up on. That was so well done. I will always commend people, and especially in the psychic realm when they do well. We often call out, you know, the BS in the psychic field and community, but I want to make sure that we call out all these good things, and that was great.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate that. His feelings, I mean, his feelings are he absolutely adores you and loves you. His only blockage is because he knows this is going to cause a rift with the parents, but he is willing to make that rift. I feel he knows, like, I feel the mom is very nagging on this. And, you know, perhaps as Brandon had said, trying to point him towards another direction, because she wants a weaker element within the family unit. She wants the girl that, you know, she can control, that she can, you know, especially because grandkids, the whole bit, like she wants control of this family. So I'm not getting that, you know, that's where his blockage is coming from. That's what I get. So, yeah, I hope that that's helped. And I really feel like this will work out. I feel like he just has to stay strong.
Well, you both have to stay strong in your emotional connection, really, is what it comes down to.
Work together as a team. That teamwork is going to overthrow it all. It really is. And I mean, quite honestly, tell her to piss off, like, or, you know, at some point he's going to come to that point where he's like, you want me to financially help you out? Then you stay out of my business. Like, that's a really hard thing to do, especially, you know, there's the cultural factors, the religious factors, there's all kinds of different factors that we all deal with, that we all have to, you know, balance in some way. But ultimately, this is your life, not hers. And, you know, that's where it comes down. Yeah, absolutely. Boundaries. Oh, she's a person. I'm a lawyer, and the person, I love it. Beautiful. Yeah. Like, continue to set those boundaries, because I feel like, you know, and there's ways to do it. I mean, you can, you know, you can kind of let a little bit of guard down with her, maybe draw her in a little bit more, show her that you're open to, you know, working reasonably with her in some way. If she's still being a witch, well, it is what it is. But I like when Brandon said that the energies between you and the Libra are like they're so strong. They're absolutely beautiful. I truly love this energy that you guys have. So yeah.
This is one of those. A little
bit wishy-washy on some things, though, is what I get, and that must be very frustrating for you. But I do,
right, the Libra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do feel that, you know, if you guys continue to, you know, have that communication, this can work out. So
anchor in that emotional bond that you two have, that soul bond.
Yeah.
And that will persevere over any physical things that come up between family or difficulty, whatever adversity. If you have that soul bond and you really anchor that in, it's going to be able to overcome anything, nearly anything.
Yeah. I truly believe that.
It's a strong connection. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, we obviously read a lot of relationships, right? And it just reminds me of one of those, the couples where it's just like their names sit together. And when you think of one, you always think of the other. It's got that kind of vibe to it.
Yes.
So good luck. Thank you for your question, Kanza. I think honestly, you'll be able to persevere though.
I think it'll all work out. I do. I think it'll all work out. It just has, I think this is a lot of pressure on him. Right. And he knows what he wants. He knows what he wants, and he knows that what he wants is you. So.
And he knows what he has to do to get it.
Yeah. All right.
Let me update this list here.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've got Ashley on the list, waiting for Angel's question. Once I receive that, we'll put you on the list. Probably only have time for one or two more. So let's roll right into it. And that next person is going to be lucky number 5. Number 5. Jessica.
Oh, yay. Jessica. All right. What would Jessica like to know? Did she put her question in?
Yes, I believe. No, I don't see Jessica's question.
Okay. Jessica, could you put your question down below?
All right, and Angel, I do have your question, and I will put you on the list here. Okay, Jessica is typing her question now. And then we will be good to go. Anybody else that's just tuning in, just listening, you can still enter into the lottery to receive a free reading. All you have to do is put your first name, date of birth, or zodiac sign, and your question, and you'll be put in the list. And using a random number generator, if we get there, we will let you know and call your name. Also, if you did want a guaranteed reading, donations are still open. You can do so at the link in the description. That will make sure you get a reading before the show ends here. We're probably only doing like a couple more, but if we do get donations, we will honor that and take those. They have priority over all the other readings. All right.
So before we go on Jessica's, I'm actually going to let you tap into this energy because I know what's going on. And I think that it might be better if you take a look at it first, and then I can come in just a second.
Sure.
Okay, and I have to run to the bathroom anyway, so that works.
Okay.
And I have
okay. All right, Jessica, hang on. Let me connect here with you and Tim. Let me see the energy between the two of you. So first I connect to you, then I connect to Tim. Then I allow the connection to be shown to me. And let's just pick up on that energy here. Jessica and Tim. Okay, so the first thing that I'm picking up on is a lot of psychic energy. Oh my goodness, there is a lot of psychic energy between the two of you. And it feels, I feel even just from that, your own immediate sense of frustration in that he's not as receptive to all of this psychic information and all this psychic stuff that's happening. Because there's definitely a more grounded, very Taurus feel to him. But it's like he kind of, it's not that he blocks it out. He just doesn't respond or doesn't really know that realm as much. And I remember connecting with you before and really feeling like that was the important realm to stay focused on. And it does still feel this way, because what Spirit keeps showing me is that eventually all of this quote unquote psychic stimuli is going to spill over into the physical. And they keep flashing the law of attraction to me in my mind right now. So that shows me that there is this energy of things coming and starting as an idea, and they will over time come into physical. And that really feels like an important theme of your connection together, is that a lot of these things start as something completely intangible, and then slowly over time, the more and more that they are felt or let in, then they start to become physical. And it seems like you're kind of still in that phase of like waiting for the physical to manifest. But as far as what I'm shown, that does happen. It's like you're chipping away at a block, like a marble block, and the statue, the beautiful, pristine statue of a person is underneath it, and you are the one who can see the statue underneath just that block. And so it's like you're constantly chipping away, slowly revealing the statue kind of being representative of your connection, your relationship together. And he's only able to see the reveal and not the statue within. So I know that's a little bit of a layered analogy, but I think you understand. If you want me to explain it differently, I absolutely can. But you're the one that's tuned into all that psychic stuff. He's, aware of the physical. And there is that good counterbalance between the two of you. It's chipping away, and you're still in that process of chipping away at the block, more and more and more. Honestly, I see him also as kind of a giant block. You're chipping away at his block as well.
There's a lot of, and I've mentioned this to Jessica before, there's a lot of ego that he has to break through first. And, I like that statue analogy. Actually, that's a beautiful way to put it, Brandon. It truly is, because it's very much that he hasn't reached the core of who he is at this point yet. He's still very much operating on this surface level that is just, to some degree, it does have those Taurus qualities, right? It's very, it can be grounded, but it's too earthbound. He doesn't have that spiritual connection like you do, Brandon, like as a Taurus, right? Like he hasn't connected to that higher realm in any way. So to him, there's a lot of ego that he has to fight through first.
Well, it's interesting because as a Taurus and an earth sign, one thing that I've noticed is that, for example, the way that I see spirituality is going to be very different than the way that you do with the air sign, sun sign, and Pisces moon.
Yeah.
You're going to see things differently. For me, when I was going through my awakening, it really had to be a physical experience for myself in order to really trust it or find some sense of reliability. I had to manifest things to see them. And man, when I opened myself up, it was synchronicity on top of synchronicity on top of another and another and another. It was so apparent and blatant in my face that I couldn't deny it. So I did need that physical backup, that physical representation of what I was experiencing on an intangible realm. And so for a lot of earth sign people, that's something that they might constantly shrug off if the answer isn't good enough, right? If it's not weighty enough, if it doesn't have enough mass to it.
Right.
It's like, it's just something so simple. Like the whole butterfly thing.
Yeah.
The whole butterfly thing that we had talked about from last week about manifesting it, other people will just look at, it's just pure coincidence, and earth really needs that heavy representation, and it's hard for them to get it. And especially if they don't open and they don't compound it.
Yeah. And it just, him not being really raised in that type of atmosphere in any way, it's going to be a little harder for him to connect with that, because again, there is a real large lack of the typical empathy that children or compassion that children receive, and that's very difficult. So, do you think that he'll open this year, like any project?
I actually do. I'm being shown that it's relatively soon. Spirit is showing me within the next month.
He's got to go through what he's going through right now.
Unexpected. Yeah. That seems unexpected to me.
What's that?
That seems totally unexpected to me, that he's going to be opening up in the next month. The Spirit is like, nope, he's getting ready to open up.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's got to get through this next phase, and this next phase is so important. Like, yeah, right?
Mm-hmm. It feels like he's going to be opening up, then he has to go through the work of the phase and then be opened up again, like finally. So I wouldn't say that it's a permanent opening if you see it like in the next month or the next couple weeks. It's going to be like a taste probably. So it's almost like what Spirit keeps saying is like, it's so he knows what he's getting. So he knows why he's doing it. So he knows the benefit and the purpose of it. Sometimes we need a reward, right? Like why it's like knowing your salary when you take a job. Like, I'm going to put in all this work. Well, I need to know what I'm getting out of it. You're not just going to take a job blindly, right? It seems like that same kind of energy, that same premise of like, oh, this is what happens when I open myself up. Oh, I get all this beautiful feeling and all this love and all this great stuff. Oh, okay, that's why I'm doing this. Okay. And remember those earth people, and you had confirmed here, Jessica, in the chat, he's a Virgo moon as well, on top of being a sun in Taurus. He's got to have extra validation, that extra physical oomph to convince him of his decision and his path.
Yeah.
Which is so counter to your Piscean energy.
And Jessica is a Piscean sun with an Aquarius moon. So.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So constantly
the opposite, which is kind of funny, right?
So programmed to think of other people all the time.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Yeah. I really appreciate you tapping into that because, it's nice to hear that other viewpoint, right? Because, Jessica and I do, we do talk a lot. And, sometimes it's, we all kind of get stuck in a place, what I mean? Not stuck with each other. Like, I don't mean it like that, but it's nice to hear sometimes that validation too, of what it is that I've been feeling and, but maybe sometimes said in a different way as well.
Exactly. That's why I love doing readings together.
Mm-hmm.
Not only do our listeners, get 2 readings for the price of 1, aka free, wink wink. But you do get to see all different perspectives and how each psychic taps into the same energy but differently. It's just so cool. So cool. Love it.
Yeah, and but it's also about it does have to do as well with the client. Like you have to have that faith, have that have that perspective, and just remember this is all. Sometimes it takes time, right? And it's hard to make things happen immediately or overnight. And it's funny because as soon as we open up to that soul connection, sometimes those lessons need to come in first. And, so it kind of looks like progress is digressing, but it's actually progressing because it's allowing a lot of crap to escape first.
Yep.
So, and we have to recognize that. And we've all been through that where we're thinking, oh, hey, I thought all of this was going so good. And then bam. But, here's the thing is that sometimes that bam is needed in order to make the progress speed up. So don't go backwards, continue to move forwards. Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I think we can probably do maybe one more and then close it up for the day. And I hope that helped, Jessica. It truly did.
Yeah, let's do one more. Oh, I knew it was going to be this person. I knew it. It's like I'm psychic or something.
No. Really? How do you do that?
It makes me wonder about electronics and psychism. Like, can psychics predict random number generators or things like that? I think that's kind of cool.
See, and but it's so funny because I still can't win the lottery, right? I mean, which would be great, but unless I just keep putting the same number, it'll be like 11, 11, 11, 11, 11. Okay, sometime in the future that would actually appear, but
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, right. That would be it.
All right, so our lucky number is 1. Number 1.
Blue, yay! All right. Hello, Blue. Are you still here?
Make sure Blue is still here. Blue. That's all I think of every time I see the name.
Yeah, she's still here.
All right, Jody. Miss Scorpio. Can I have a general reading? I am subscriber and have liked. Well, thank you for your subscription and like, Jody. Okay, so just a general reading for Blue.
Okay. And did Blue, her name is Jody?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Scorpio.
Scorpio. All right. First thing I'm getting, I keep hearing the word, it's funny. So the tarot card for Scorpio is actually the death card, which really talks about transformation, transmutation. It's like the ending of one thing, moving into a new cycle. I'm really getting here that you are removing something. You're removing. It feels like you're okay. I always have to give my visual interpretation, okay? Because sometimes that's how things get shown to me. So my visual interpretation is what I'm seeing, Jody. It's almost like you have things attached to you. So let's just say, I'm seeing the figure. I am seeing, let's say, just stuff, like as if you're carrying maybe a backpack and a purse or a hat, or, like there's just stuff that's attached. This could be people, it could be, energies, it could be other things, but it's almost like, somebody had taken sticky something and just kind of stuck it on you all over. What I'm receiving is, as you're walking, you're starting to, like this, like brush stuff off, like things are dropping from you. It's almost like you could take that, that sticky thing and kind of pull it off. I'm done with you. Pull it off. I'm done with you. I'm feeling like this. And as you're walking, it's going from like this slump to standing up straight. You're feeling better. You're feeling cleared. You're feeling energetically stronger because you're removing baggage. Like it literally feels like maybe baggage, or like I said, it reminds me of like just old energy that is no longer needed for you. And I keep seeing something about water or ocean. Like I'm literally seeing an ocean. This could be a cleansing, like maybe that you're going through. Maybe you live near the ocean. I'm not sure, but I literally keep seeing an ocean. But it feels as though, like as you're walking, again, you're pulling things off. You're cleaning yourself energetically. This next phase is so important. And again, it reminded me of that death card from the tarot because of the fact that there's a transitional stage that you are going through and it feels as though some of this stuff, it's like you didn't even really realize that you were attached to. So it's almost like, when you go into like, when you dig up old feelings, or when you maybe go through a meditation or something and something just pops up and it's like, oh, I forgot about that memory, or, oh, I forgot about this feeling, or, oh, I forgot about that. Or it's like, sometimes if you talk to an old friend and they bring up something that you're kind of like, what the hell are you talking about? When did that happen? And then you all of a sudden remember, and it's like, oh yeah, shit, I do remember that. Oh, Australia. I'm in Australia. Beach is about 40 minutes away. You know what? A cleanse in the literal beach might, like in the ocean, might not be a bad thing. Like just, if you can, like don't get eaten by a shark or anything like that. Oceans
they're pretty locked down over there in Australia.
Yeah. But I do, maybe that's why I saw the beach though, because of, just being in Australia. But it feels as though these things that you're pulling off, or these things that are coming off, they're almost things that you may have actually forgotten about, or things that you didn't even know that you were really needing to get rid of in some way. Like they might be old concepts, old mindsets, old, just old energy that you're like, why am I still hanging on to it? It's like you're almost looking at it going, what the hell are you doing? Like, why am I still attached to you? What are you? Like, why are you sticking to me? I don't need you. Done. And you're continuously moving on. And it feels as though this year, sharks can't get in. They have nets. So that's good. See, I would probably be okay with Australia swimming then. For anyone that knows, that's my phobia, is sharks. Even though I'm in the most landlocked place, probably. But yeah, so this is what I'm getting for you, Jody. It feels like this year there is a massive change, a massive transformation within your own energy. I don't know did you just have a breakup or something? Because I don't know if this
feeling is like,
right? Like it almost feels like there was a breakup. Now, I don't know if the breakup was with a physical person or if it was a breakup, like again, with this old energy, but I keep feeling like you're letting go of something, like you're finally just letting it go. And it almost feels like something that was attached to you that is no longer needed to be attached to you. And I literally heard like, it's like almost like a breakup. And again, it could be a breakup with a former of yourself, or it could be a breakup with an actual person that you've gone through. Now you're just getting rid of all that old junk that you were hanging on to.
That would make sense, because the very first thing I feel when I connect with Jody's energy, Spirit keeps showing me that there is like this new bond, this renewed sense of bond or self. And at first I'm thinking that it's somebody, but it really feels like, and Spirit keeps highlighting this because they are also showing me the whole transformation as well, you know, as what you're picking up on, Kathy. And they're showing me that there is really this new sense of bond with the self. And they do keep showing me that this is going to lead you to some pretty important interactions with others. It's like you getting to engage with people in a way that just fits way better than you have in the past. And I think it's all because of this transformation that is taking place this year, really solidifying the bond with yourself, you know, really having that harmonic understanding, kind of like what I was saying earlier. I think it was a different reading. We were talking about that mind, body, spirit alignment. I think we were talking about that with Will. It seems like you're having that same energy as well. But for you, Jody, it feels so impactful. It feels quite powerful. And it extends to other people around you. And again, it has to do something about you being in different social engagements and just having a different place, one that feels like it fits properly. You know, like those moments when you're like somewhere and you're like, oh my gosh, these are my people. Like, I feel like I found my place. It's that kind of vibe that it feels like you're going to be feeling more and more with this transformation that comes.
Mm-hmm. Like it just, this whole thing was so absolutely necessary. Whatever it is that you're removing, whatever it is that you're transforming through, this is like a new step. It's literally like seeing death take its cloak off. It is what I get, you know, you have that cloak figure and taking that cloak off and revealing all of who you are, starting to really reveal all of yourself now, without any ties, without any old energy, without anything that's weighing you at this time down. Yeah.
Yeah, she says, I did have some attached, but they're no longer in my life. Yeah, exactly. It really has to be that renewed bond with the self. That's a beautiful thing to have, honestly. Yeah. So if you have that, you literally have everything.
I hope that that's helped. I hope that as you're going through this, I feel like personal cleansings for yourself will really help as well. You know, you don't need to fast or anything like that. I mean, you do whatever, you know, will make you feel better. But I would say, you know, maybe some sage, you know, sage your home, or, you know, just even just you know, bringing in like, I'm not one for like a vegetarian diet. I mean, people can be vegetarians, people can be vegan. That's fine. That has nothing to do with spirituality as far as I'm concerned. But do something that, you know, brings some sort of cleansing to yourself, even if it's just for like a 24, 48 hour type of just a cleanse of some sort, because it will help remove the rest of the attachments or the rest of the things that you're at this time kind of still pulling off and just chucking down, right? Even what you could do is literally do a meditation for yourself where you sort of imagine these things that, you know, like do a body check, right? And as you're in the meditation, see where things are feeling uncomfortable, Like, do you feel like, are you twitching? Or does this hurt? Does that hurt? And literally physically imagine yourself removing it and just, okay, you're no longer needed. I don't need you. Done. And kind of go through a phase like that, or a meditation like that may really help as well. Our body tells us so much, and we can physically go in and spiritually cleanse ourselves in some way. So a cord cutting with Archangel Michael will really make a difference too. And, on YouTube, I'm sure that there's many, many cord cuttings, with Archangel. All you have to do is search. That's it. It'll come up. There'll be hundreds of them that pop up. So I hope that that's helped. Oh, and she's an empath. Well, see, there we go. This is why there's a lot of attachments to you too. Simply because of the fact that you do pick up on other people's energy. That's amazing. So this will help. This will help. At the end of the day, what you can do is just literally do a cord cutting for the rest of the day. Like, just take a minute or so and ask Archangel Michael to come in and say, please cut any energies that are no longer needed from this day. Please remove them so that they're not attached to me. I want to wake up tomorrow refreshed, cleansed, clean, and ready for a new beginning of the day. So I hope that has helped.
Oh, honestly, it's such a beautiful position to be in my personal opinion. I love when I myself, or I see my clients, go through that moment where they really feel that bond with themselves in a deep way. There's nothing like it. There really is nothing like it. That's real self-reliance. That's faith. That's being in alignment, in harmony with the self. It's a perfect place to be in. So don't take it lightly, Jody, because it really is monumental. Yeah.
So I want to thank everybody for watching this week. We truly appreciate it. You guys being here with us means the world to us. Being able to see you, week after week, having, sharing the video, inviting other people to watch the video, as well, to participate is truly, it's an honor for us, right? To be able to be here for you. Please remember, I know I had mentioned TikTok before. Next week, there's going to be a lot of videos going out. Follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Please make sure you stay subscribed to the channel, because that really does help with the algorithm. It helps the channel get more well-known. Was that even a really proper sentence? Brandon, your details? Did you want to?
Just, if we didn't get to y'all today, we still would love to read for you. So come back next week. If you stay subscribed, you'll get that notification when we go live. And please join us. We'd be happy to read for you and connect with you. Just really appreciate all of you. Thank you for your well wishes and prayers. Hopefully I get some water soon. I can't wait.
Yes.
And maybe I'll be nice and fresh and I can finally pop on camera here.
You can have a shower, like a whole shower.
That would be so wonderful. I can't wait.
So thank you so much, guys. And we will see you next week. Take care to all of you, and many blessings.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.